American students are often seen as having a reputation for ridiculously high tuition fees. But ever since conservative government came into power in 2010, education has been under attack like never before. Universities now have the right to increase tuition fees above the current £9,000 a year. This is great news for establishments, but not so great news for the millions of students who are already in a debt worth at least half £100,000. And that's before interest rates are even considered. According to the National Union of Students, the Higher Education Bill seeks to raise tuition fees year on year in line with inflation. Should the bill go ahead and if left unchecked, this figure could rise to £12,000 per year in a decade's time. That's an additional £9,000 of debt. UAL has been one of the universities that has chosen to increase tuition fees for students beginning their studies next year. While current students are safe from the increase, prospective students must decide if the £750 of additional debt is worth it.
I think you need to know that it's quite bad and it's set to completely change the face of higher education and the landscape of it, and removes higher education further and further away from it being a public good. So it's an ideological bill in a way. It sees students as consumers, and it believes that the graduates should bear the entirety of the cost of higher education, as if education isn't used to change society and it doesn't benefit anyone else except the graduate.
In an email sent to current students by the university, it said that UAL has decided not to increase tuition fees for current students, but they will be making a £250 increase to fees for new home and EU students per year beginning undergraduate courses in 2017/18. The email adds that the increase, the first in 5 years, will help the university continue to provide an exceptional arts education for students. Artifact asked some students at LCC about what they thought of the situation and whether this would have affected their choice if they were applying as first years for the next academic year.
I wasn't aware that it was happening at this university.
I think maybe that the government is probably dealing with a lot of other things at the moment, so I think it is up to the individual universities to listen to the students.
I think it's terrible. I think education should be free. I don't think it should be a for-profit sort of institution.
I think it's a bit too much. Like, why should we pay that much money to access to education? And especially for people outside the EU, so that international student, they have to pay so much money. Increasing the tuition fees even more, people might stop coming to the university if they keep doing that, and then that's going to reflect badly on the university.
So now with maintenance grants scrapped, if you're a student from the lowest socioeconomic background and you're getting a full maintenance loan that you'll be eligible for, and you're on a, say, 3-year undergraduate degree, like a standard one, you'll be graduating with at least £51,000 worth of debt, and that's not even including inflation and interest rates for the loan.
If you go on the website of any of the courses at UAL, you will find a warning to home and EU students that tuition fees may increase in future academic years. That's above the currently proposed £9,250 a year. The university's Arts Students Union campaigned to fix the fees for students. They launched the hashtag Fix the Fees campaign to get UAL to freeze the fees at the very least for current students. And the university listened after they explained why they believed a fee rise would be unfair and have negative consequences for students.
So that was very good news. Sadly, there will still be an increase for new students, but at least if you came here expecting to pay £9,000, you will not suddenly find out in your final year that you might be charged more than that. It's definitely not the end. We will be campaigning to stop future fee increases as well.
The battle may have been won in that case, but the war is far from over. Students are facing an even bleaker future as they prepare for more debt than anyone can handle. A future is supposed to be a fresh start, but it's hard to do that when you're riddled by debt. Theresa May can talk all she wants about a country that works for everyone, but yet again we have a politician who by everyone means people like her. Increasing tuition fees is locking away opportunities rather than opening doors and breaking down barriers.
The idea that quality should come at a price, why are we not challenging that? We are one of the wealthiest economies in the world. Why can we not afford to educate our society to a good level?
We will reach a tipping point when people will simply not see the value in paying £12,000 for a degree.
We need to reclaim the narrative of higher education as a public good, as something that belongs to us.
It's part of the culture of trying to demonise protesters and trying to shut down dissent or not agreeing with what the government is doing, and media just feeds into it and blows it out of proportion.
The National Union of Students, in conjunction with the University and College Union, have organised a national demonstration in protest of government attacks on education. As they march under the banner of United for Education, we're here at the protest today to talk to students about why this movement is more important than ever.
Education is a right, it's a right, it's a right. Education is a right, not everywhere.
And I'm here today because the cuts are harming the most marginalised groups.
When is this going to stop? When are we going to be able to be in control of our own education, our own lives?
The purpose of a good society is one that promotes education for all.
When we're all united like this, the government has to listen.
Also makes me hopeless, like I said. We have a chance to fix it. We must take it. Change starts with us mobilizing as a community. And so even if the government ignores us, they can only ignore us for so long.
Education should be equally dispersed for everybody, and that's not centralized or just for a certain group of people, which is more or less becoming so good that we prevent that, work against that.
At the end of the march, people joined the rally to hear the likes of NUS President Malia Bautia and the General Secretary of the University and College Union, Sally Hunt, speak to the crowd.
We have a world, a future to win. And the task is huge, I know, but in the words of James Baldwin, those who say it cannot be done are usually interrupted by those doing it. Comrades, we have a lot of interacting to do. We have to call for an end to the expansion of profit education, an end to the slashing of further education, and an end to the exploitation of thousands and thousands of university and college staff kept on insecure contracts. And of course, an end, can we dream of this, an end to student loans and debt.
We all have the responsibility to stand up to government and to fight for the higher education system that we want to see. There are things that can be done. Resistance is being built up. Power lies with us, not in Parliament.
Today's atmosphere has been one of unity, solidarity and tenacity. But in light of Brexit and the current state of uncertainty in the country, Generation Debt's fight is far from over. Eva Snina,